Peace, peace, power, soul, and activation. This is the next nuclear radio show. I am your host, Sirius Razus Anuclear, leader amongst ones and other leaders here as the United Futuritarians moving forward next now. We are the United Futuritarians moving as the Solar Activated Council, as ones walking with ones, and extended peace, power, soul, and activation to us, and a peace, power, and soul activation. We are ones. The true ones breaking forth the primary source through basically intelligence, through what we ultimately call intelligence by again, the different forms of channeling and bringing forth, or distributing intelligence, as far as again through art, through through all types of ways, as far as channeling and displaying what we are ultimately pulling in these upper and outer dimensions. Like I talked about before, I used to draw, I still draw, but every now and then, or back in the past or whatnot, I used to draw ultimately, what I was able to see and channel. I still do periodically, but the this channeling is becoming more and more complex as we evolve forward. So ultimately, what you were doing before, as being able to channel, it will ultimately evolve and extend forward into a whole next dimension, as far as what you say, stepping up, or going above and beyond what you ultimately are used to doing, as far as being able to further stay tapped in. But the further you stay tapped in, or you are tapped in, as far as these upper and outer dimensions, again, everything becomes easier. Everything becomes more and more clear. Nuclear. Again, this is the next nuclear radio show. I am your host amongst the council, Zireus Razus Anuclear. We have Brother Cosmo, we have Brother AF1, Brother Bill, Brother Sunshift. Ultimately, as the council members here, as the United Futuritarians moving forward next now. Tonight's live is going to be very, very, extending like it always is. So, again, welcome back. Today's date is Thursday, February 24th. Again, Thursday, February 24th, 2022. Again, triple two, the year breaking out of the six. Again, that's the only two that we recognize as far as being of two, but we're ones over here. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. So yes, all of this power that is basically coming down to this planet through the upper and outer dimensions, and then from our primary sun, it's only fueling this evolvement as far as our souls and minds. And again, in the physical, we're growing. We're growing as a collective council, which is the physical aspect of us being able to, channel, or the results of us being able to hear the call of 911. And ultimately, like our brother AF1 talked about, us sending out the signal to the ones, we're up here sending out this signal, or this message to those right ones to come over here and help speed things up. Because you guys know, we know that things can be going a lot faster. Things can be going, a lot smoother on this planet. But again, a lot of people are causing so much, so many obstacles, or so much, so many things to stop the natural flow, or the NIs, the natural intelligence, from being able to affect them or hit them. Everyone wants to fight. For the ones who are fighting against this natural evolutional shift, again, it's only going to be it's going to be harder on you all, or on those ones who are, again, not accepting that things must go on, but you have to let go. Like the saying is, you can teach an old dog new tricks only if that dog is willing to learn, and again, be able to let go to grow. So there is no excuse as far as where we're heading to, as far as this planetary evolvement, as far as, again, our souls evolve, as far as everything, us extending forward, us ascending and extending our souls forward into these upper and outer dimensions. So yes, we are one. We are only, again, in this power state as individuals, channeling and tapped into the one frequency. That one frequency happens to be, again, to what you say extend and build forward, to keep moving forward. That one frequency allows us to do that. But the one frequency ultimately is, again, this whole collective synergy, or like we said, solargy, that solargy that we have amongst being in the council, and that we're ultimately putting out. And again, we're up here as guiding luminaries, we're putting out this cosmic energy, true cosmic energy, true activational shockwave on the planet. And that's why all of this, what you say, the speeding up is beginning to be felt on a large scale, or on a massive scale here on this planet. People are becoming more and more anxious, or their anxiety is beginning to flare up because they know what time it is, or in the back of their heads or in the back of their minds, they feel, what you say, there's an energy that's proceeding them, but they can't tap into it. It's like, when you're in class, and for example, like, you might not get what the teacher might be talking about, or at one point you were in school, and you didn't quite understand what the teacher was talking about, but again, it was just like that particular so-called point in time where that needed help, as far as you trying to, what you say, get or grasp the concept that was being taught in school or whatnot. So I would equate that more so to, like, again, like, as we're moving forward, if there's no excuse as to why we can't all be ones. So again, even if it means having to ask help, like if you needed to go after school to get tutoring, again, it's diligent to actually ask for help, even though you might not be what you say, notable or knowledgeable in certain things. But again, when it comes to further activating, again, that's why I will always say is each one reach one, each one teach one, or each one reach one, each one intel one, bring forth an intel, or giving intel to ones who are openly ready to receive it, or further, what you say, digest what we ultimately put out, as far as intelligence, and as far as, what you say, activational influence. Next now. So peace, power, soul activation. Moving forward, like I said, we're going to keep bringing forth the synchronized intelligence, the synchronized intel every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Starting with Monday and Tuesday being Brother AF1's schedule, called Futurtarians Activation Channel. He finally came in. Peace, power, and soul to us as the council, Brother AF1, Brother Cosmo, Brother Sunshift, Brother Bill. Again, the council bringing forth, again, true activational intelligence, bringing forth, again, the, for new, bringing forth the new, like Brother Sunshift said, talking about new, everything that's new and new, everything that's new and next, everything that's new and next, or new, as far as what we bring forth to the forefront, what we ultimately upload onto, what you say, these databases, as far as on the computer websites and whatnot. As far as what we do, it will always be powerful. It will always cause a evolutionary shift, or again, a shift within the souls and minds, or the souls and spirits of the people here. For us, we're only going to keep on reciprocating, or reciprocating this evolutionary shift, and this evolutionary what you say, leap, as far as the more that we keep on embodying who we are as the council, the more that we keep on embodying ourselves as the council, because there is no other, there's no other step. Communities didn't work, like me and Brother AF1 and Brother Cosmo have kept telling you all, communities don't work. So that ultimately just shows you that, again, the only thing that's next is counseling. Again, we all go to counseling, or at one point, people who dealt with or battled with certain things, what you said, on a mental level, they've gone to a counselor or a therapist to work out the issues. So again, we're not on the future level, us coming together to tackle on the problems that we see as individuals is what ultimately is truthfully powerful, because we can tackle on anything if we all come together. But that mindset does not, or that type of, what you say, intelligence doesn't reach the minds of people who, again, are caught up on the individual frequency, and we're moving past that. That's why, again, today's topic will be called Future Evolutionists, because evolutionists realize that, again, that whole mindset of survival of the fittest is bullshit in a way, because, again, that's more of like I said, that mindset came from a particular teacher, would you say Charles Darwin or whatnot, but he was a teacher or a humanist, basically a human, basically, who came up with the whole idea of evolution, that the humans came from monkeys, etc. All of that, but on a futuristic level, on a future level, we're up here evolving. We're the true evolutionists because again, we're the ones causing all of the energy. We were the ones behind the scenes causing what you say all of this shift that took place, as far as all those different what you say gaps in history that people can't quite piece together. We were kind of responsible for all these different leaps in time, or the speeding up of time, as far as evolving the planet, as far as evolving the souls and minds, or the souls and spirits of the people here, the beings here on this planet. So again, at the end of the day, we are true evolutionists because again, we're always the which is an influence, or we're always the cause for everything shifting, as far as whether it been in the past, in the present, or even in the future. We're the precursor, or we're the energy, the activation, the soul energy that's responsible for again the continuum moving forward, the non-stop. We are the non-stop. Again, our minds keep on continuously pulling in, channeling intelligence, again, because it's non-stop activation of intelligence coming down next now. There's nothing else to talk about, nothing else to what you say further, what you say bring forth to the forefront if it's not regarding intelligence, because everything else is going to be like right now. It to us as future beings, it's like a tape recorder or a record being played over and over and over again. And again, people talking about all again deities and gods and all this shit, the war of the gods. Like that's all I've been hearing. Even in the music, people talk about, yeah, it's the war of the gods, the war of the gods, the war of the gods. That's not future evolution. Y'all still associated with gods and deities and energies and all of that, but that does not talk about the future, because y'all keep giving the these so-called fictitious characters more power than that you have as a real person. You actually have, you're actually real, and you're giving something that's not real, that's not tangible, more power than yourself. That just shows that you're not in the future, because again, you and us as futuritarians, we recognize that again, the true power lies within us. But ultimately, when we recognize going beyond yourself, ultimately recognizing that again, when you have collective ones who are channeling and have that same mindset, again, it only is going to fuel something that's greater and more powerful, that goes beyond self, that goes beyond cities, neighborhoods, countries. It's the soul connection. As future evolutionists, next now. Again, future evolutionists evolving the planet, evolving the galaxies, evolving these upper and outer dimensional spaces. Again, evolving the minds of people near and far. Because once you hear this, either you're going to again attract or gravitate towards, because they call magnetic energy gravity, but you will either attract or gravitate towards this, or you will repel or be what you say pushed away. Because again, the energy is no bullshit. It's no BS over here. No belief systems. And again, there is no, faking the front anything. Everything is true power over here. That neutral energy, the neutral frequency, that again, true solargy, as again us being all in accord. Future evolutionists, again, evolving everything. Evolve, not revolve. Evolve and not revolve. So the ones talking about, yes, the revolution when we televised on TV and this and that, no, it's the evolution, because you can't see growth. There's not one scientist, and it's so crazy because they've had to have scientists or whatever, create a device called time lapse. Time lapse cameras capture, which say, but things that we can't see with our naked eye, or basically the time that we have as far as our regular schedules. They use these time lapse cameras to basically pick up on the in between time, or like the everything that's not what you say or can be physically picked up as far as growth. So, or time passage. So again, we only go off time passage based off of a clock and our watches pretty much, or our phones. But then again, if you're actually looking at it from like the point of view of, like I'm saying, basically is when it comes to looking at growth on a tangible physical level. That's why again, that we can't see our growth. That's why again, people talk about revolving. Again, we see that revolving is not going to go anywhere, or it hasn't worked. Again, talking about the same things, or again, doing all again books. Again, like Brother F said, encyclopedias, Google, Siri, Alexa, all of that's not going to work. Again, that's why really when you look at the society of 2001 up until now, has there really been evolution? Think about it to yourself. Has there been evolution since 2001? Since 2000? No. Everything, there really hasn't been any evolution except for, again, the minds of the real ones who come here right now, who are part of the council. It's not that many of us, but it goes to show you that we were predestined for this moment right now to come together and actually be future evolutionists and not be what you say future revolutionists and keep, you know, revolving and revolving like them doors, or going back and forth again, being meta looped, or being what you say being metafied, and basically keep constantly being looped in a hamster wheel as far as this 3D world. And again, we're going beyond that and tapping in, or staying, we're tapping in as far as our souls, but again, our minds are tapped in. Our minds are tapped in, and again, the further that we keep on, what you say, evolving our minds in this physical state, then again, it will only fuel for more, would you say, more and more extended souls in my evolution. That's why our souls are ultimately going to keep amplifying this neutral frequency, or our solar oracles will basically put out this, again, that shock wave. Again, it's like a frequency that, again, like like I said, like when it comes to people that I encounter with, it's like they always say that I have a great vibration, or my energy is calm and mellow, because again, mellow, staying, calm, staying, what you say, not what you say emotional, but like I said, everything as far as what we're doing is purposeful. So again, we're not doing this out of emotion. We're not doing this because, again, hey, I want to be like this person. No, everything is purposeful. We came back down here. Our souls came back down here to cause this, again, this shockwave of, again, that next evolution or new evolution. Again, we are those rays that came down here and actually impacted the planet. We left those dents, those craters in the earth to let everybody know that, hey, this shit is real. It's serious. There's no more, sitting back, people talking about, oh, there's a war going on, Ukraine and Russia and all. Man, we don't give a fuck about that shit. We don't give a fuck about that shit. It's just crazy that, again, things are speeding up. War will speed up. Poverty will speed up. Again, again, nigger shit will begin to speed up. All of that's going to speed up because, again, we come here to, again, cause a shockwave. We're the breakers. We're breaking all the nonsense. Again, everything will play itself out, and we're going to still be here. Y'all going to been died and fucking passed on, but again, the first ones to come here will be the last ones to leave this goddamn planet. Like we always keep saying, the first ones here will be the last ones to fucking leave, because again, at this point in time, again, y'all don't have a purpose any damn way, so y'all are disposable like fucking shitty wipes. You just fucking throw them out the toilet and flush them away. Y'all serve no purpose at all. That's why now it's like ain't no half stepping. Either you about the future or you're not. That's why we ain't talking all pious and all what you say, all pious and all nice, like, because again, at this point, again, for the ones that hear these videos and talk about, we have cool information. No, we don't have information. We're not informing y'all of anything. We're in telling you all, because we're the fucking council. Because y'all have to be told. Y'all have to be, there has to be some kind of what you say command coming down here, because again, shit's not moving forward. So again, we put out that frequency of collectivity, but you see, again, all the other races on the planet are moving forward and again doing all these things as far as, again, they're advancing forward. And when you look at our people, or those people that call themselves black, those people over there that call them black, those people are ultimately, again, they're still worrying about the same shit, why people don't accept them, why everybody's against them, and all of these things that are, again, just emotional, again, and who cares? Move again. Are you moving forward? Again, are you purposeful? We're purposeful because at the end of the day, again, there's no more what you say complaining or excuses. Yes, this is going to be hard, but it is what it is. Someone has to do it. Someone has to do it, and it's us. Somebody has to, we had to come down here and, again, further, not sacrifice, but do what had to be done as far as causing this activational boost or shift for the planet. So, yes, Brother AF1 or Brother Cosmo, if y'all want to add, please go ahead if y'all would like. But yes, today's topic is Future Evolutionists. This is the Next Week Radio Show. Again, check out Brother AF1 every Monday and Tuesday on his channel called FUTURTARIANS Activation Channel on Podbean. Again, FUTURTARIANS activation channel on Podbean and YouTube. So again, we are ones walking ones walking ones. Again, every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday we go live. Again, synchronized intel by FUTURTARIANS activation channel, and again the Next Week Radio Show. So again, if y'all want to chime in, feel free.
Yeah, peace, power, soul to the council. Fire topic. Touching on, you're speaking about emotions. The emotions that we have, there's only one emotion that we have. The emotion that we have is the emotion of ready. That's it. It doesn't matter what the situation is or what everybody is feeding off of. It's the emotion of ready. See, that's something for Google, Siri, and Alexa. They're gonna have to put that. They're gonna have to put that down in the Webster dictionary. The emotion of ready. Ready for what? Whatever. Being ready mentally, whatever. The emotion of ready. Because when you're ready mentally, then everything else doesn't even play a factor.
They call it prepared.
Doesn't play a factor. You said what? Now I can barely hear you.
I said they would call that word preparedness, being prepared.
Yes, being prepared. The emotion of ready. Now, just dealing with people on the internet, teachers and stuff like you. Has anybody ever heard that? The emotion of being ready. There's some people that said they was ready, but they never called it an emotion. See, that's when you're moving the paradigm and you shifted and altering everything. The mindset of what's going on in this three-dimensional realm. Touching on the topic, future, evolutionist. The evolution is always going to be on the mental aspect. That's the first step. Is the mind. The mind. Then once you start tapping into certain intel and certain people around you, then your soul starts to activate like a fusion, or organic nuclear battery. It starts to spin, and then everything else, once the activation comes, everything else on the planet is obsolete. You know what I mean? Like look at in the future, coming this weekend in the beginning of next week, people are going to start talking about Russia, Ukraine, and World War III. That's coming. You know that's coming. Well, I'm talking to the Futurtarians, but we know that's coming because y'all just going to eat everything up. And y'all don't even know the real reason why Russia is in Ukraine right now. Y'all don't even know. I'm not even going to say that on the Cyberverse, man, because now it's getting to a point where y'all just going to have to sit back and watch, man, because now that we've been doing these videos for so long, when you're dealing with the intel, now there's going to be certain intel we say, and there's certain stuff we're going to hold back. That I'm holding back on why it's happening. Because y'all don't have a global mindset. Your mindset, like I warn everybody dealing with the future of the evolutionists. Going back to the topic, I warn all these teachers on the internet, like this is like what y'all doing, not acknowledging the intel, and then now that we're evolving on the internet, now the real intel, we're not even going to tell you. We're not even going to tell you the reason why Russia is in Ukraine. Shit, I ain't even told the Futurtarians yet because it just hit me just now, like instantly. And y'all think the reason why y'all think what it's about is not what you think what it's about. But going back to the topic, man, the future evolutionist, evolving. When you go through the circle, remember when you walk in, remember those buildings downtown? Those buildings downtown, they got the evolving door where you have to walk through the circle and then you keep straight.
Revolving doors?
Yeah, the revolving doors. What happens? You go through the revolving door, you make that one slight little curve, and then what? You end up walking straight. You ain't even was the point that I'm making is like that the evolving door, when you go through that door and then you don't go in a whole 360. You make that turn. That's what I'm taking. That's why I always told y'all breaking out the 6. What's that? That's the curve 1. So when you walk through that door and you go to the right a little bit, go back to the left a little bit, then you go straight. But if you stay in there, what are you going to do? You're going to keep going in a circle because that's evolving.
Like a
You're not
roundabout.
staying within that circle. You're not staying within that circle. You're moving forward. You use the circle for your game to keep moving forward. And that's what we're moving. And that's, give me one second. And that's where we're moving to. That's where everything is moving to, because now, man, not everybody's sitting there, especially because I was just on social media and I'm seeing this, the Russian Ukraine stuff. And I'm just like, okay. And it's the same way when, the United States of America went up into Baghdad. It's the same thing when the United States of America went up in Afghanistan. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just that now, no, I ain't even finna tell you. No intel, man. I ain't finna. Nope. Because now we just gonna keep moving forward. Because people know it's out here. People know that the Futuritarians are spitting out intel. They know that stuff, man. They just don't acknowledge it and they don't push the videos. That's why I heard one teacher on the internet today was like, man, he was like, all the real like YouTube channels that spitting the real shit. You notice how they ain't got a lot of subscribers. They don't have a lot of views because it's the reality of what's going on. Everybody wants a band-aid on their mind. They just want a band-aid. Then they get hit upside their head again. They'll put another band-aid on it. They get hit upside their head again, put another band-aid on it. Then they be like, okay, let me go ahead and just get this shit fixed. That's going to be the ones. That's going to be the ones, man, because there is nothing else when you're dealing with the future evolutionists. There is nothing else, man. We tell you guys, man, every time. We know y'all's hearing the videos. We know they circulating. See, that's when everybody starts to go back to numbers, and they stay focused on numbers, because we already know we don't run YouTube, we don't run Instagram, we don't run these social media websites. So what you see on a number aspect might not even be accurate. That's where you go. That's the difference between activation, conscious, and woke. Between activation, conscious, and woke. That's the difference, because everything that we see on the cyberverse, we don't automatically think that that is organic. Dealing with subscribers, dealing with views, dealing with all that stuff, man, we already know that shit can be manipulated dealing with the cyberverse, because it's not about that. It's never been about numbers, and it's never been about money. And I just shared to the Futuritarians. Well, no, I shared it to the brothers Arrayas. It was one cat. He was on the internet talking about, going off the grid and, saying all the stuff that we've been saying on our videos for the last 2 years, right? Never said the source though. He never said the source, but this is how slow these niggas are on the cyberverse. When you're dealing with intel, right? When you're dealing with intel, now you have to deal with algorithms. So now the algorithms and Google, Siri, and Alexa never heard this before. So now it's a stamping point. It's been branded by the Futuritarians. So then when you get on the internet and you start teaching about that, the algorithm is going to send you directly back to us. That's why the brother Saraya said, ain't no hiding from the future. Y'all can't hide from this, man. You accept it, acknowledge it, and just bow the fuck down mentally. Because you mixed it in with your little gumbo pot. This is the future evolutionist. You mixed into your little gumbo pot. Who do you think put the algorithm program into the cyberverse? So that's why it's so funny, because I be sitting here listening to these cats, man. They take the intel and they mix it in. I'm like, dude, that is something Google and Siri and Alexa haven't processed yet. So now it's going to automatically come back to us. So all you teachers that's on the cyberverse that be like, oh, I just came with some deep knowledge. Even that Ralph Smart dude, I don't like that Ralph Smart, because he has said something. Man, we putting all y'all on the forefront. It's the age of Aquarius, man. Ralph Smart, you messed up when you had said that. You heard it here first, and you know what I'm talking about, Ralph Smart. Because it ain't even about you, man. You ain't even a factor, but you slowing up the process of evolution. So now I'm going to put you out there, Ralph Smart. Yeah, you heard it here first. No, you didn't hear that there first, Ralph Smart. You a fallen angel because y'all a bunch of liars and you always go with that soft shit. Just the age of Aquarius, man. We ain't dealing with that passive soft shit no more. You should have said the source. You didn't say the source, and now you got to deal with it for the rest of your life. Talking about some Ralph Smart, talking about some, oh yeah, it's the reset and it's going back to the portals are opening. It sounded just like the FUTURTARIANS, but a watered down version of it. You know what I mean? Fallen angels, man. All these fallen angels, man. That's what they do, man. They fucking parasites, leeches, and vultures, and they're gonna stay like that. But now, they so stupid because I keep telling them, man, the algorithms are set in place for this reason. That's it. You think the algorithms are set in place so when you say car insurance on your phone and then a whole bunch of car insurance fucking shit, that shit don't mean shit. That don't mean nothing. See, but once you start talking this FUTURTARIAN stuff, them algorithms is going to send you directly back to us. And we going to know. And we going to know. And the whole world's going to know too in the long run. Because they're going to be like, man, I already said something to the brother Zarias about something that's what's going to happen in the future, man. And it's going to be so funny because we're going to be sitting here and the whole setting is going to be already set. That video might even be an hour plus long. And that shit's going to already be set. It's going to make all you teachers look like where you need to be, mentally beneath us. The ball's been sitting on a football field for 7 to 8 decades and ain't nobody picked it up. They didn't pick it up and run out the stadium. They picked it up and they kept playing the game. You picked the ball up and you kept playing the game. You kept going by the fucking referee's rules. Should have picked that ball up, ran clean out the stadium, got to the airport and flew out that bitch. Because the evolution process, man, shout out to Facebook, man. Shout out to the Cyberverse, man, for switching everything to meta. Shout out to the Cyberverse for switching everything to meta, man. Because now it's just like, man, because once you understand on how to run a society and how to run a planet, man, it's just like, man, because there's so many people on this planet that need the mental security of being looped. And that's just the way it is. There ain't nothing nobody could do about it on this planet of having them mentally just be looped. Mentally be looped. Going back to what the brother Zarias said when he was talking about the attraction, being attracted, right? The attraction, and then going back to the being attracted and then being detracted. Because when you're dealing with these Greco-Roman priests, they always, when they use D, like, D just means like down. But what they were doing is when they used these words, they were using D as in D dimensions to keep you from the upper dimensions. So that's why they had to use the DE, like detract, attract, and detract. That's why they put the DE in there, because they didn't want you to tap in. So they used certain syllables that represented something else, which the D was representing the dimension. So when somebody say decline, detract, they're trying to keep you mentally from tapping into the upper dimensions so they can still stay in power. It's the age of Aquarius, man. It's over. It's a wrap. Dealing with real. Remember real? Remember what did they call when you're dealing with the word real? What did they call? Remember the old school movie projector?
Yeah,
What did they call
real.
that? They called that a reel. And what was it? It was two fucking circles going on into a hamster wheel. The meta symbol.
But it played.
That's why they called it a reel. They called it a reel because they wanted you to look at those movies as the shit being reality. That's why they switched the A out and put the other E there. All this shit is being decoded in the age of Aquarius. We don't tell y'all everything on the cyberverse, but I gotta keep slipping in intel here and there to let the ones know that this shit's real. That's what they did. The movie theaters, Hollywood, right? What's the Holly? What is Hollywood? Dealing with the what? Holly tree. What is the holly tree? That's the tree that the witches allegedly use to cast spells on people. Halloween. Gotta keep going. Holy.
Hallelujah.
What is holy?
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Holy. What is holy? The halo. What is the halo? It's a circle over your damn head. They're showing you that you ain't none a bunch of damn rats on a goddamn hamster wheel.
Too easy.
That's to all you religion cats out here. You sitting there's Christmas, you got the angels sitting up there with a damn halo over their head. Getting fucking looped and looped and looped and looped. This shit funny to us, man. But now, man, yeah, just getting looped. They just sitting there just two wings, probably holding like, I don't know, a Bible or something with a fucking halo over their head.
Harp, something, a harp or a Bible.
Yeah, a harp, got holding a harp, trying to manipulate the ones. Now they're like, damn, we can't manipulate those ones though. Now all this shit being revealed, man, it's so funny because now it's like, that's why I say, man, like, just dealing with these teachers on the internet, it's like, man, it's like, dude, like, we don't tell y'all everything, man. Everything is, I tell the Futurtarians, man, everything goes by timing, man, because we live in a 3-dimensional realm. If we was like in a 6th dimension or 7th dimension, everything would be moving faster. Like, everything just be, you know what I mean? Upper dimensions, it just be moving faster. But living here, and it, man, it's like, man, this place make my head hurt, man. I'll be sitting here like, damn, man, give me a glass of wine, man. Fire that shit up, man, because these people are fucking gone. They're gone. There ain't nothing you can do about it, man. Just dealing with regular people, regular society. What do you mean by regular, AF1? I mean somebody who always has to have a validation point. Somebody has to validate the way you fucking think. If they don't validate it, then you just think that it's pseudoscience or some shit. Oh no, I Google it, and when it said on Google, it said no result. So I know that since it said no result, it fake. Damn dumbass motherfuckers, man. Making my goddamn head hurt, man. Peace, power, and souls to activated AF1. This is the United Futurtarian Council, and we just gonna keep moving forward. Shout out to the brother Cosmos in the building. We got the brothers Arrayas in the building. We just gonna keep moving forward, and I'm gonna let somebody else chime in, and then I'll tap back in later. And during the live stream, topic is the future evolutionist.
Yes, wonderful breakup by Brother AF1. Check him out every Monday and Tuesday at 8:30 CST. Again, at Futurtarians Activation Channel. Again, Futurtarians Activation Channel on Podbean and on YouTube. So, Brother Cosmo, would you like to add, or should I continue?
You continue for a little bit, and I'll jump in a second here.
Okay, so with today's topic being future evolutionists, it's just pretty cut and dry at this point. Either you want to evolve forward or you have what it takes to evolve forward. Not saying, because I have to stop saying want. You have to have what it takes to evolve forward. Meaning that, again, the mindset, again, your whole, what you say forward focus and what you say alignment would be what's really important. What you say on the future, on the things that, again, reciprocate growth, or not reciprocate, but reciprocate growth, bringing forth, again, extension of your soul and all others that are, what you say, further in line, as being all in accord. So that's what's happening. There's this forward pull, or this forward extension, or this forward slingshot that we are experiencing in our own lives, what you said on the physical, as far as us just moving forward. Everything is working in our favor. And, at this point, our worries, because we don't have no worries. So it's always no hurries, no worries. Our focus is always on, again, building and bringing forward what's next. Not even, focusing on what's taking place right now, because the physical is just, let's what you say, more of a physical distraction. So the physical experience would be more so of a distraction. But for us, everything that we are observing, or what we ultimately are looking at, is just giving us more of a, boost, or would say more motivation to just keep moving forward, keep looking straight ahead. And again, all the shit that we can see on our peripheral vision, just ignore that. Move forward, keep growing. And again, not allowing all of this that's around us to stop us, or again, allow for that whole stagnation excuse me, to take place on the planet anymore. So that's why now, everything that we keep doing is purposeful as far as bringing forth evolution as future evolutionists, because what's taking place, it's only going to, further be realized or realized by all. There's no, dismissing. Yeah, shit is speeding up. Yes, the days are becoming, what you say, shorter and shorter, because again, we are, as far as us being vegetarians, once our minds have, because our minds, in so many words, are on autopilot. I think I did a live or a broadcast talking about living life or living future and on I think autopilot, I think, but talking about that, ultimately everything is just happening, just based on, this, our further alignment and our further discipline, socially and mentally. Everything's just taking place, when it has to. Everything's just basically unfolding, and what you say, giving us more, what you say, mobility and more freedom to extend forward. So, future evolution is because the more that we keep on, again, bringing forth these, what you say, future activation channel, and again, this further, next weekly radio show, as far as our synchronized intelligence, is only going to evolve the planet forward. And it's only going to, what you say, keep, again, things moving forward. Again, what we're doing is keeping things moving forward. Everybody else that's talking on the internet is ultimately, again, they're meant to, what you say, keep you stagnant. Again, this is what is considered linear conversation, or linear, what you say, focus and being purposeful. Because like what I was saying, our laser focus, again, in that one direction. That's the future. There's no, again, trying to say that we're in the future, but we're always talking about the past. Or no, that's never instance that you come on this live and hear us. We're always talking about what the further evolution of us, or again, pinpointing all that we see here. That is one of the reasons why, or again, a reason why, again, this thing isn't speeding up, so-called evolution, because again, we're supposed to be a lot faster, way faster. Again, being able to process way more, and again, doing way more. But again, you have the so-called dead weight. Though the dead weight represents all the teachers, all of those, again, zeros, again, all of those ones that control zeros, all of that is just dead weight. So again, the more that, that dead weight is, what you say, acting as, what you say, a counterbalance to the forward push. Again, this forward push, like I said before, it was held back for so long. It inevitably, it couldn't be held back no more. So what happened was the weight broke the bridge. So you had motherfuckers that was waiting or trying to slow down this evolution, and ultimately the weight of all of that weight basically broke. Couldn't be held back no more, and now we're springing forward, or we're extending forward socially and mentally at this rapid pace. And it will only get faster and faster. It will only become, just natural. Like I said, it's all natural intelligence. There is no AI over here. It's all natural intel that is being pulled and extracted from these upper and outer dimensions. That's what we're saying. Again, tapping into the suns, or pulling the future, through the suns. Being able to pull our futures through the sun is all what's taking place, or pulling, again, the collectivized future through the suns, ultimately, as a council. Because no one else is talking about pulling the future from the suns. All it's talking about is sun gazing and sunbathing, and that's it. All on that all on selfieism. That should be a topic. Selfieism, because that ultimately is, again, just in its power state, ultimately what people are truly about. Selfieism.
Yeah, I think Google, Siri, and Alexa just had a brain freeze.
Yep, selfieism. That's a whole new wave, again, that we probably would make a documentary about. The age of selfieism. Now moving forward into the age of collectivity, or again, us being a collective council, a basically powering up frequency, again, being a neutral frequency that is, again, being felt. It's slowly powering up, but gradually building up in intensity and, again, impactfulness. It's felt, but people keep trying to dismiss it and, no, I'm good. I'm not ready. Again, if you're not ready now, then you ain't gonna ever be ready. And that's a reality from the council. See,
Yeah, they're not ready now. They're not ready now is because they subconsciously know that they're not in the future. That's why they're not ready, because their future self failed somewhere in a dimension up there. They failed. They failed the test. That's why they're not ready here. And you go back and look at what the scientist is talking about. What was that? When it was talking about the universes and how they had a mirror of each universe, the mirror of universes, right? It's the same thing dealing with your soul. It's like you failed up there somewhere. That's why when people come over here and they're like, oh, well, because they're so content with their life, they don't want to be about evolution. They don't want to be about power. They just want to be about their regular self. They love this three-dimensional realm. They really do. And even dealing with the conscious people, the woke people, they love it
they
too.
call it
They
parallel
love this
universes.
place.
Yeah, I think it's called parallel universes.
Yeah. Right. You're right. Parallel universes. So they love that shit, man, because up there they failed somewhere. They didn't. Everybody's not chosen for this shit. When people say they're the chosen ones, you look at these Facebook groups and you look at people that say they're chosen. It's like, how you chosen and you still messing with books and artificial intelligence, and you supposed to be chosen? Going back on Ralph Smart, yeah, I'm on that nigga tonight, because when he had said that, it resonated to me, talking about you heard it here first. That's a lie. So all you cats that's listening to Ralph Smart, he is a fucking parasite, because dates don't lie. That's why when you talk about defamation of character, he can't say defamation of character, because our videos hit the cyberverse before he was talking about the reset, before he was talking about the portals. So if anybody wants to flag these videos, or if he do, it can't do it, because dealing with the algorithms, our dates are before his dates. And he said, you heard it here first. That's how you know you're dealing with fallen angels. You're dealing with fallen damn fucking freaking damn angels been doing this shit, man, because they stuck in this three-dimensional realm. They stuck in this three-dimensional realm and they don't know how to get up out of it. The only thing they can do is keep manipulating you zeros and take from the intel. That's why I'm glad I didn't. Some of it now is going to get to a point where I'm going to give you a scenario. It's going to be a deep topic, and I'm going to be like, you're not getting intel. They're going to be like, what? Like, hold up, just tell us. Nope. No, I'm going to give y'all the mediocre shit. You can get the little mediocre shit. You're not going to get the fire shit no more. But the mediocre shit is going to let the ones know that this shit's still real. Because there's levels. Like, what don't y'all like to say that? Don't y'all like to say there's levels to the shift? Tell me I'm lying. I done heard so many teachers say that. There's levels to the shift. I done heard rappers say that. There's levels to the shift. I done heard a rapper say carbon beam. And then in the next bar, he was talking about knocking somebody's head off. I'm like, y'all everywhere, man. Y'all just everywhere, man. That's the sad part, because now, dealing with this age that we're living in, age, why you think age starts with an A? It's the age of Aquarius, the ones, the alphas. When you're dealing with that almond shit, that shit old. You think that the beings that came down here, you don't think that everything is altering and shifting with them also, like it is down here? Like when you was born and your mom gave you a name, and then you walking around, you like, no, I'm not even talking about just the black race. I'm talking about other races too. You know what I mean? It might be a Mexican dude. They'd be like, oh yeah, we call him Little Underlay. It's Little Underlay. Like we been calling him Underlay since he was 3. Right? That's the same shit up there. As above, so below. Shit doesn't stay the same, man. Everything alters and shifts. For the time, for the dimension, for the energy, and for the mind power to keep shit moving forward. Y'all just think, a lot of people just think that it's just with the so-called black race. No, it's with all the races. Oh, we call, when she was, I'm talking about like if there was a white person. Oh, well, we used to call her little cupcake. She's in college right now. It's like, come here, little cupcake. I've been calling you that. It's the same shit. See, once you put everything in a three-dimensional realm that makes sense, then everybody can't argue with it. Like, how the fuck you gonna argue with Intel? That shit don't even make no sense. That making my damn head hurt again. Oh, gosh. And my ears ringing. All type, man. But fire topic by the brothers Reyes coming up with the future evolutionists, because that's what we are. We're future evolutionists, man. Where are you going to hear something like this on the cyberverse at? Nowhere. Nowhere. You're not going to hear from no teacher. No, that they still stuck on the physical realm. They talk all that stuff on the internet. They still stuck in the physical realm because they don't have an evolutionist mind frame. They're not in the top dimensions. They got stuck up there somewhere too, especially this is the thing. That's why we do what we do. Because when you hear these videos and it doesn't resonate to you, this is the red flag. You're not up there. Doesn't take a rocket scientist. You're not up there. That's why I keep telling people that's teaching on the internet. I said, live your regular life. Go deal with your household. Go deal with your wife. Go deal with your husband. Go deal with your children. Go deal with that fake ass community that you live in. That you gotta blend in and just act like you really fuck with that neighbor across the street when you don't even like that motherfucker. But you like, I done spent $140,000 on this house, so now I just gotta act like it. Then when you just don't give a fuck no more, you be like, fuck that motherfucker. Now you're like, oh, I want to sell the house, move somewhere else. Y'all us on a meta mind frame. That's why we stay around. That's why we stay around the Futurtarians, man. That's why we stay connected, because we know there ain't nothing else. Y'all think there's something else. Ain't nothing else. It ain't. They're like, what's AF1 talking about when he says there's nothing else? Been through the doctrines, been through the religions, been through all these organizations. If I didn't join them, I see people think that we talking out the side of our neck, and we ain't. And we ain't. So I just wanted to touch on that, brother. I had something else to say. Oh, no, I touched on that. Okay. All right. Peace, power, and soul to the council. It's activated AF1 fire topic by the brothers Reyes. Got the brother Cosmos in the building. If one of you brothers want to tap in, go ahead. I'm gonna go on 11:11 pause.
Yeah. I just want to say, future evolutionists evolving with these dimensional shifts, man. It's just like if it was a book, although it's not a book, it's like flipping pages. So it's like, like have them do, like if a page is being flipped and just like with Pokemon, it was the evolution from the next step or the next being, just like Brother F1 was just breaking up about, we don't consider ourselves the same way anymore or the same thing, because nothing's the same. Everything's always changes. You know what I mean? It's not even like the repetitive seasons anymore that we grew up, supposedly supposed to be experiencing. You know what I mean? That shit don't even exist anymore, because shit was fake, really. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a lot of AI going on there with the weather shit too. You know what I mean? Being explained growing up. But anyway, like, everything is shifting and just accepting everything. Everything is different. You know what I mean? And excuse me, we've been actually preparing for this shift, or for all these shifts here in 2022. You know what I mean? In this realm. Excuse me, because we came out here like, waiting for this, or anticipating and preparing, powering up for all of this change and this, these dimensions to, align, you know what I mean, before we even knew about, a lot of information or even intelligence, preparing for, for the world to change, preparing for the world to change past what it was when we came here. You know what I mean? So it's like, future evolutionists, you know what I mean? Always prepared. Future evolutionists, I mean, guiding luminaries, how brother, Zareas be saying AF1, you know what I mean? Just moving forward, accepting, we're not we don't we're not just physical, we're not physical beings, you feel me? So, what do we think how the shit was gonna be? Of course it's unknown and shit, but yeah. So yeah, it's a lot of things that have changed. So accepting the change and moving forward in order. So, yeah. Peace, power, and soul. I just wanted to, touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, wonderful breakup by Brother AF1 and Brother Cosmo. Again, check them out all over Facebook, YouTube, Cosmo Uni, Brother AF1, AFONE, Futurtarian, and his live radio show every Monday and Tuesday, 8:30 CST, Futurtarian Activation Channel. So, again, we're coming live every week, Monday through Thursday or Monday through Saturday. Ultimately, we'll put out a video probably on Friday. But, like I said, this is nonstop on the path of continuous, bringing forth again the continuous intel that is, again, we're the ones guiding the world. Everybody's picking up on all the intel, they're now picking up on the intel and trying to basically pass it off as something that's next. But we already put out that. That's why, Brother F1 said, once we put the intel out, or once we upload the intel, it then becomes information because the people who pick it up, they turn it into information. They make it more, again, they water it down so much to where it's no longer what you say, or, because it's been out so long, it's not as potent as the initial time that we put it out there. So, all people are talking about that they're activated, or they're, talking about the whole reset. It's like, okay, again, how are you purposeful during the reset? Again, if the world is resetting, then again, what purpose do you serve? Again, being a part of this next evolution, or this new world that is basically being, would you say, bought up or being brought forth through, again, us ultimately coming together and again causing this major shift, or causing this quantum leap as far as, us ascending and going to the fourth, and going to upper and outer dimensions. That's why now, everything that we've worked for as far as, up to this point, it's paying out for us, because again, we always recognize that, again, we were always different from all these people around us. So again, it just took, being patient, but ultimately, further seeing in the future that, there was a silver lining, or there was a silver lining, down the road, to where we will ultimately, meet as far as these other activated souls and minds. And again, the council's being formed, and, nothing else matters, like I said, and like we always say, nothing else matters but, again, shifting this planet forward, ultimately coming together. All the talking about, again, the history, like I said, all the belief systems, all of the history, and that it doesn't matter no more. Again, people who still want to keep on talking about that, just shows that they're not in the future. But they're not in the future, and that they damn sure know that they, can't even bring forth to utter their words of any intel. Because if they do, it's like, again, how can you equate Pan-Africanism with portals? Dr. Umar Johnson, let it sink in for a little bit. How can you equate Pan-Africanism with portals, vortexes, the future? You can't. Let that shit go. I'm telling you, let that shit go, because at the end of the day, it's embarrassing, because again, y'all all want to talk about let's come together, but again, we're not coming together under no community, under no organization. It's called leadership as ones walking with ones. We're all leaders. We're all leaders, and we're all going to extend forward as individuals under one frequency, being on one accord, evolving forward as ones walking with ones, true power, true soul, and true, would you say, activational influence in this power state. So peace, power, soul activation, future evolutionist, next now. Again, we always been about the future evolvement, based on how we, would you say, came up, how we grew up as far as, mentally, and what you say, soulfully, throughout these different, what you say, those stepping stones, whether it be religion, spirituality, consciousness, all of those different stepping stones. It just showed us that we were always evolving, because it wasn't hard for us to let them go and come into a newer state, or a next state of omni standard and mega standard. So that's why, again, and going past, again, activation, we've like I said, this is nothing new. That's why we always are coming up with what is next. And again, a lot of it we just can't share it to y'all, because again, what use is it? How would you guys benefit from, like, again, like I said before, the intel is coming down to the right ones, for those who can benefit it the most. Again, the again, intelligent souls in these upper dimensions, our souls in the upper outer dimensions are only going to again set out the frequencies to those right ones. Again, ultimately us who are open to further again move things forward. Again, we were here when we created this shit, and we will ultimately be here once everything is physically finished and fucking destroyed. Our souls will keep moving forward, onward and onward. Again, that's why we're not really what you say caught up on the physical so much, because again, we have so much time, limited time in the physical 3D to what you take gather and further again shift things forward to where again to the point where it's future enough to where it causes an offset from this so-called loop process. It causes an offset or a breaker enough to where it shifts the future to again this 3D world and into the 4D world, or again us breaking through that threshold or that doorway into the 4D, bringing forth again our soul alignments and our minds moving forward next now. So peace, power, soul activation. Check us out this coming Saturday here on Podbean. Again, the next week radio show. If anybody else wants to add, they can go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, this is the last thing I'm gonna say. It's having to do with the future evolution. You know what I mean? It's like, how you were saying, you gotta have what it takes, basically. Cause having to do with movies like The Seeker and, National Treasure or, Da Vinci Code, I just feel like, there's only certain people out here that's really gonna go that far or to be able to distribute and like, really see what everything is, you know what I mean? For everything is actually accepting it and not just going for the norm, you know what I mean? But that's if people pay attention to shit like that. But peace, power, and soul activation and forward movement.
I'm gonna close out with this. See, the reason why we don't really stress order, the reason why we don't stress order in law, because when you mentally connected, it's already gonna move that way. So I'm gonna give you an example. When you're dealing with our live streams are always in order. Like there's no confusion, there's no yelling, there's no arguing, there's nothing, because when you go on other people's live streams, you see that stuff because they are in a state of their minds are in a state of confusion. It's in a state of the two C's, consciousness and confusion. So that's why when you go to these live streams and then you hear everybody arguing this and that, because they're not on the same frequency. They're on different frequencies. They're on different frequencies with multiple different agendas. That's why when you go to their live streams, there's no order there. It's like somebody's talking, somebody cuts them off, another person cuts them off, this person's talking. Next thing you know, dude pops in, then he's like, hey, I just got here. He's cutting him off. Then she comes in. She's like, why are you being disrespectful for the black queen? And all that stuff is finished. Man, y'all finished. Ain't nothing the future can do for y'all. Y'all's finished, man. Y'all basically just wasting time, man. Just existing, man. Just waiting to transition into a worse situation. Waiting to transition to a worse situation. You go back to using as an example, just dealing with the Olympics. Third, first, and second. You got third place. You get third place. You might get third place. We running the track meet. You might get third place. You go back to your nation. They're going to be like, oh, yeah, you got third place. Or you get second place. Oh, yeah, I got second place, this and that. But when you get first place, majority of the people that are into the Olympics, that are really into the Olympics, they're always going to remember that one. They're going to remember that one. Now, I'm not talking about people that just watching it for like entertainment. I'm talking about the ones that's like really into the Olympics. It might be a third place that, I'm talking about like people that really are into the Olympics. It might be 20 years down the line. They'd be like, yeah, you remember she got third place? Like third place. Like, I think I watched that year. Who is that? Oh, I know Keisha Smith. I know she got first. I know, but I'm trying to remember who was that was in third. Oh my God. That was like 20. But she remembered that first place though. Because it's always been about the one, man. There is nothing else on the planet. We're the activated FUTURTARIANS. This is the activated AF1, peace, power, and soul. And, we'll be going live once again Saturday and also Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, 8:30 Central Time. So just tap in and you feel you were one, then you gotta come over here and then get activated. Peace, power, and soul.
Yeah, so because we always stay ready, so we don't have to get ready. So moving forward, everything is, you know, about the forward evolution, like it's always been about things moving forward, things further going into higher dimensional, would you say, stages for us. Our minds going into higher dimensional stages of further extension of processing these new ray codes, and again, bringing forth the blueprints of this next utopia that we are forming and that has been formed again by way of Generation Alpha, because again, everything is through the A. Again, further, access, further alignment, further acknowledgement, again, further what you say, taking accountability, and then again, taking action. Action is ultimately what we're taking, and taking action is again doing something, not just talking, not just making suggestions, but actually moving things forward in the physical. Like actually, for example, like I think Brother Evan made a great point where he said, in order to be in the future, you have to make something to basically control the past. So all this talking, about the past, but that's not controlling the past at all, is it? Or that's not controlling the present. And damn sure it's not going to do anything as far as talking about that. So again, that's why this linear conversation as far as the future and evolution is ultimately what matters. So peace, power, soul activation. Until next time, till this coming Saturday, peace, power, soul, and activation. One love.